Suddenly she realizes that there may be a dire meaning in his confident words.
Crichton!
Crichton has intended no dire meaning.
What is it, my lady?
But she only stares into his face and then hurries from him. Left alone, he is puzzled, but being a practical man, he busies himself gathering firewood until Tweeny appears excitedly, carrying coconuts in her skirt. She can be happy even on an island if Crichton is with her, and she has made better use than the ladies of her 3 minutes' grace for dressing.
Look what I found.
Coconuts. Bravo.
They grows on trees.
Where did you think they grew?
I thought as how they grew in rows on top of little sticks.
Oh, Tweeny, Tweeny.
Have I offended your feelings again, sir?
A little.
I'm full of vulgar words and ways, and though I may keep them in their holes when you are by, as soon as I'm by myself, they comes in a rush like beetles when a house is dark. I says them gloating like in my head. Blooming, I says. Oh, my eye, and ginger, and nothink, and all the time we was being wrecked, I was praying to myself, please the Lord, it may be an island, as it's natural to be vulgar on.
A shudder passes through Crichton, and she is abject.
That's the kind I am, sir. I'm hopeless. You'd better give me up.
She is a pathetic, forlorn creature, and his manhood is stirred.
I won't give you up. It is strange that one so common should attract one so fastidious. But so it is. There is something about you, Tweeny. There is a je ne sais quoi about you.
Is there? Oh, I am glad.
We shall fight your vulgarity together.
All this time, Crichton has been arranging sticks for his fire.
Now, get some dried grass.
Tweeny brings him grass, and he puts it under the sticks. He produces an odd lens from his pocket and tries to focus the sun's rays.
Why, what's that?
That's the glass from my watch, and one from Mr. Treherne, with a little water between them. I'm hoping to kindle a fire with it.
Oh, sir.
After one failure, the grass takes fire, and they are blowing on it when excited cries nearby bring them sharply to their feet. Agatha runs to them, white of face, followed by Ernest.
Ah! Danger! Crichton! A tiger cat!
Crichton gets his cutlass.
Where?
It's at our heels!
Look out, Crichton!
Treherne comes to Crichton's assistance, while Mary and Catherine join Agatha in the hut.
It will be on us in a moment.
Ernest seizes the hatchet and guards the hut. It is pleasing to see that Ernest is no coward.
Listen, the grass is moving. It's coming.
It comes. But it is no tiger cat. It is Loam, crawling on his hands and knees, a very exhausted and disheveled peer, wondrously attired in rags. The girls see him and with glad cries rush into his arms.
Father!
Oh, Mary, Catherine, Agatha. Oh, dear. Oh, my dears, my dears. Oh, dear.
Darling, sweetest, love.
Glad to see you, sir.
Uncle, dear old uncle.
For a time such happy cries fill the air, but presently Treherne is thoughtless.
Ernest thought you were a tiger cat.
Oh, did you? Well, I knew you at once, Ernest. I knew you by the way you ran.
Ernest smiles forgivingly. Crichton ventures forth at last.
My lord, I am glad.
But you are also idling, Crichton.
Ernest makes himself comfortable on the ground.
We mustn't waste time. To work! To work!
Yes, sir.
Crichton gets a pot from the hut and hangs it on a tripod over the fire, which is now burning brightly.
Ernest, you must be more civil. Crichton, let me help.
Treherne is soon busy helping Crichton to add to the strength of the hut. Loam gazes at the pot as ladies are said to gaze on precious stone.
Is that? Oh, but I suppose I'm dreaming again. It isn't by any chance a pot on top of a fire, is it?
Indeed it is, dearest. It's our supper.
I have been dreaming of a pot on a fire for 2 days. There's nothing in it, is there? Sniff, Uncle. Oh, it smells of onions.
There is a sudden diversion.
Father, you have boots. So he has. has.
Of course I have.
You are actually wearing boots, Uncle. It's very unsafe, you know, in this climate.
Is it?
We have all abandoned them, you observe. The blood, the arteries, you know.
I hadn't a notion.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Loam holds out his feet, and Ernest kneels. In another moment, those boots will be his.
Father, he is trying to get your boots from you. There is nothing in the world we wouldn't give for boots.
I only wanted the loan of them.
If you lend them to anyone, it will be to us, won't it, Father?
Certainly, my child.
Oh, very well. I don't want your old boots. You don't think you could spare me one boot?
I do not.
Quite so. Well, all I can say is I'm sorry for you.
Ernest departs to recline elsewhere.
Father, we thought we should never see you again.
I was washed ashore, my dear, clinging to a hen coop. How awful that first night was.
Poor Father.
When I woke, I wept. Then I began to feel extremely hungry. There was a large turtle on the beach. I remembered from the Swiss Family Robinson that if you turn a turtle over, he is helpless. My dears, I crawled towards him. I flung myself upon him.
Here he pauses to rub his leg.
The nasty, spiteful brute.
You didn't turn him over?
Mary, the senseless thing wouldn't wait. I found that none of them would wait.
We should have been as badly off if Crichton hadn't.
Don't praise Crichton.
And then those beastly monkeys. I always understood that if you flung stones at them, that they would retaliate by flinging coconuts at you. Would you believe it? I flung 100 stones, and not one monkey had sufficient intelligence to grasp my meaning. Oh, how I long for Crichton.
For us also, Father?
For you also. I tried for hours to make a fire. The authors say that when wrecked on an island, you could obtain a light by rubbing 2 pieces of stick together. The liars.
And all this time you thought there was no one on the island but yourself.
I thought so until this morning when I was searching the pools for little fishes, which I caught in my hat. When suddenly I saw before me, on the sand,
What?
a hairpin.
A hairpin? It must be one of ours. Give it to me, Father.
No, it's mine.
I didn't keep it.
Didn't keep it. Found a hairpin on an island and didn't keep it?
My dears.
Oh, Father, we have returned to nature more than you bargained for.
For shame, Agatha. Father, there is something I want you to do at once. I mean, to assert your position as the chief person on the island.
They are all surprised.
But who would presume to question it?
She must mean Ernest.
Must I?
It's cruel to say anything against Ernest.
If anyone presumes to challenge my position, I shall make short work of him.
Here comes Ernest. Now see if you can say these horrid things to his face.
I shall teach him his place at once.
But how?
Well, I have just thought of an extremely amusing way of doing it. Ernest?
Excuse me, Uncle. I'm thinking. I'm planning out the building of this hut.
I also have been thinking.
That doesn't matter. Please. This is important.
I have been thinking that I ought to give you my boots.
What?
Father.
Take them, my boy.
With a rapidity we had not thought him capable of, Ernest becomes the wearer of the boots.
And now I dare say you want to know why I give them to you, Ernest.
Not at all. The great thing is, I've got them. I've got them.
My reason is that, as head of our little party, you, Ernest, shall be our hunter. You shall clear the forests of those savage beasts that make them so dangerous. And now you know, my dear nephew, why I have given you my boots.
Ernest kicks off the boots.
This is my answer.
Father, assert yourself.
I shall now assert myself.
But how? He has a happy thought.
Call Crichton.
Oh, Father.